Welcome back, wonderful people. So today I'm going to be making a bin cage. You can see the little top of it. You might have seen my other video where I got the stuff to make it, but today I'm going to be starting the bin cage. So, but before we get started, you guys need to like, subscribe, and comment below if you want me to do anything specific. So let's get started. What you'll need for today's bin cage is you'll need some duct tape, that's optional, zip ties, a bin, some mesh wiring. You will also need a food dish, water bowl or water bottle, and some toys, hides, chews, food. And you'll also need some power tools. And make sure whenever you're using power tools, you get an adult to help you. So I have my papa and he's gonna explain some of the power tools.
Okay, so what you're gonna do, you got all the stuff in here. So you can see that this top is divided up in squares. Some of them are smooth, some of them aren't. And you're gonna have to cut little sections out so that you can have get your airflow going through. So to do that, this plastic, there's three different ways you can cut it. You can take a cut-oak, heat the tip of it, and burn your way through it, which is very exhaustive. It takes a long time to do. Or you can take your cut-oak, burn one little spot so that you can get a hacksaw blade in and tape the end of the hacksaw blade and cut it, which is a little exhausting. Or you do the same thing, get it ready, get you a jigsaw. Now I'm using a jigsaw with a metal cutting blade, so it's not quite as rough. You'll stick it in, you can cut it out with that preferred way. So that's for that. You'll need some wire cutters to cut your wire to put over your openings that you make. You'll need some type of drill. So what we're going to do, there's two things you can do to the sides. You can cut out openings like we're doing the top and put wire mesh over it. Perfectly acceptable. Or we're going to take a 1/2-inch bit and just drill holes so that we can get airflow throughout the whole thing. That's what we're going to do. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is mark our top for our cutouts for our ventilation. What you need to do though is look on the back side, because my first thought was I was going to cut all these little indentions out and that would be our opening. But if you look on the back side, you can see where they've got supports here to make it more sturdy. Plus, you've got no room to put like your holes to hold your mesh. So what we're going to do is measure in about an inch, 1.5 inches, and mark it and cut our holes. That way we can drill our holes for our twist ties to hold our metal in and everything. You'll see later on why this makes sense. So that's what we're going to do now. So we'll take our tape measure and our marker. And we're going to look, we got 6 inch, so we're going to come in 1 inch on each side. So we'll measure 1 inch here, and we'll come in 1 inch here, and do the same over here. That way we've got a guide to go by. And we'll do the same on the front and the back. Inch, 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 inch. You don't have to be totally exact. I mean, if you get off a little bit, it's not like anybody's going to fire you or anything like that. Then we're going to use a straight edge. And that'll be our opening we'll cut out. Now we'll do that on the rest of these and then cut them out. Okay, now we've marked all our holes. Didn't show you all that because it took a while to do it. So now what we're going to do is burn a little section in each one of them with our cut-o so that we can get our jigsaw blade into it. So what you just do, take a ordinary lighter or whatever you got and just heat it. Just overheat it up a little bit. And just slide it in there. Doesn't have to be a big hole and it won't cut, but it'll allow you to be able to put that jigsaw blade in there. And we'll need to do it for each line. And then for each one of them. So that's what 4, 8, 12, 24 of them we're gonna do. So we'll be back when we get done with that. Okay, we've got all our holes burnt in for starters for our jigsaw. So now just find one of the holes, you can see it's got it right there. Shove it in first. There it goes. And then just turn her on. Take it slow. Whenever you're cutting, the slower you go, the better it is. You go too fast, you'll liable to crack it. The other thing is make sure that your tub is not cold. You know, I don't know what the weather will be like where you're at, but don't have it outside where it's, 40 degrees. Bring it in, it's a lot more brittle. So make sure it's a room temperature. And then just turn her on. Okay, as you can see, we've got all the holes cut out. Now we've got to take you can either use a file, or if you don't have a file, you can use some rough sandpaper. And all you're going to do is just kind of get the edges off of it. Not a big deal, it just makes it look pretty. Let's say just take a little piece of sandpaper. Hand it in. Get all those rough edges off. Okay, we've sanded all the edges just to get them smooth so that, they're smooth as you touch. Now the next step is going to be, we're going to turn it over. We'll take our wire, unwrap it, lay it out, and mark it, and cut our wire to fit inside here. And once we get that done, we'll show you what's next. Okay, we're back. We've moved outside. It's about 65 degrees out. So we figured we'd come outside and work on it. You can see we've already cut our metal so that the full length of the top. I've got these blocks sitting on it because it wants to curl up. So what we're going to do now, we've got it set out. We're going to take our pen and just mark holes so that we can drill them out, and we'll use our zip ties to go through there, and that's what'll hold it on. So you want to make sure you've got the corners. We're going to come down and catch these here, and just as many of them as you want to go through there. That's what I was talking about whenever I said you got to look at your lid to see what kind of obstacles you have. I just cut out for these little braces. It just makes it a little stronger, so I just cut it out for that. But we'll mark these. We'll take a little small drill and drill it out, and we'll be ready to zip tie it, tape it up, and it's going to be done. So we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, as you can see, we've got our dots drawn so that they're at each one of the openings all the way around. Now we're going to take off the mesh, and I'll drill out each one of those holes so that we can attach it to it. Now make sure this is on the back side, the bottom of the lid. So we're going to drill through from the bottom. That way all of this will be on the bottom, not on the top, and you won't get your hands hung in it, stuff like that. So, like I said, get your drill with a small drill bit, about the size of whatever type of zip tie you're going to use, and just drill all those out. And we'll be back when that's done. Okay, we're back. We got the holes all drilled out. Got our lovely assistant Claire there. You can see they're all drilled out. We've got the screen back on there and all the holes pretty well lined up. Now you may have just a little burr on each one of them, plastic. And most of them you can just smack them and they come off. If not, just take a little cut them off, just clean that up. One thing I didn't mention before I drilled the holes, when you take this off, you may want to mark. You can see I put a black magic marker there with a little tip so I knew which corner it went and everything would line back up. So now we are going to get our zip ties and get it started, and I'll pass the camera over to Claire here and I'll show you how we're going to do that. So go ahead and get me a brick here and we'll put that down. That'll kind of hold things for us. We've got our zip ties. So if you come around here, you'll see, just find you a couple holes. We're going to do this corner right here first. So I'm going to have this actually up on the upside. So we'll bring it through like this, and then back through that one. And then we'll throw it in. And tighten it up, and we'll snip all these off later. But we're going to do that on all these here. And then, so that you don't have to watch us do all that, we'll be back when we get done with that. All right, so we've got them all on. Now what we're going to do is just make sure that it's good and snug. Hold on. All right, you get her good and snug, then we're going to make sure you use the flat edge. Take it down, snip it off, boom. Gonna look pretty. We're going to do that to all these. So we'll come back when we got her done. Okay. With the help of Claire, we got her all done. We tightened them all up, snipped them off, as you can see. Now, the next step is optional. We've got some white duct tape that we're going to duct tape around the edges here, just to kind of keep these sharp edges. Yep, white duct tape. And we'll put along the edge just to make it a little safer. If you wanted to, I don't think we're going to do it. You could also put it up here, but then it doesn't look quite as good if it's all bubbled up and everything. So we'll probably leave it like this for now. If we decide to later, hey, you know what, we'll put it on there. Then, when we come back, we're going to mark the tub and drill some vent holes in the tub so we can get some good ventilation going through. Okay, you got a almost finished product. You can see where we put the tape. With the lid like this. We put the tape on around the edges. All that does is cover up the wire end so that if somebody grabbed it, it's not going to stick them or anything like that. The hamster's not going to get anywhere near the top. Put that on. Now the only thing we got left is we're going to drill some vent holes in the bottom here. So what I'll do is I'll take my tape measure and measure about probably about 6 inches, 5.5, 6 inches. I'll drill 4 or 5 on each side just to get a little air circulation, some vent holes. So we'll do that, and we'll show you the finished product. Okay, I'll show you. You can see I've got the holes marked. What I did was the ones on the ends I put at 6 inches, and I came down to 5, 5, 5, and then 6, because usually if your hamster's going to pile stuff up, it's going to be on the end, so made him a little higher. I've got a 1/2 inch wood bit. That should be plenty small enough, and they just here's started. Boom, that's all it is. Give some ventilation to get through and good airflow. When you get done, if there's any burrs on or anything, you can just scrape them off with a utility knife, or if you want to take a little sandpaper to it, you can. That's it. Okay, here is the finished product with this Claire. You can see we've got our vent holes in the sides. Not too big to go through, but to allow air to circulate up through and down, which is important for a good hamster's health. That's what I'm told, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We've got vents on top, plenty of them. They're very secure, so you don't have to worry about if you've got other animals getting in there or anything falling through. You know, even if the hamster made his way to climb up to here, he couldn't get out. So that's a good thing. So this is our first bin cage.
Ever.
Ever.
And I'm gonna teach you guys how to wash it out and set it up to put your hamster in it. We will, since we ordered the wheel 2 days ago, it will not be, last night, it will not be in until tomorrow, Tuesday for us. And then we'll be able to put the wheel in, and then, yeah.
We'll be back in a bit.
Yep.
Okay, one quick update. Forgot the water bottle. So, we drilled a hole here, and then 2 little holes for the holder to hook onto, so that the water bottle will fit right there, thusly. And
The reason we didn't make the hole higher so that it wouldn't get in the way of the bedding is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make the bedding higher over here and a little lower over here, just so that not as much bedding is getting into her food dish, and we'll hopefully be able to fit her wheel here. So yeah, and now I'm gonna teach you guys how to clean it out. So we're gonna take a sock or a rag, whatever, and get it wet, and then you're just gonna do this, and then it will be done. So I will see you guys when I'm done doing this. Hello, I am back, and I'm gonna set up my hamster cage. So I went ahead and filled up my water bottle, and I'm just gonna stick it in the little hole and pop it in, just like that. And there you go. Next, you're gonna wanna take some bedding. Yeah, bedding. And fill it up. Yep, so I'm just gonna slowly pour it in so I don't add too much. Getting a little loose, which clearly not enough bedding. So now I'm going to start taking chunks. And I'm going to fill just a little more thin layer. First, I'm just going to do a thin layer. I'm obviously not going to add that much bedding and call it a day. No. Because your hamster, at least in one section, which was what I'm going to do, you need 6 inches of bedding so that your hamster can properly burrow. So, go in there. Go. And I'm going to situate this just by kind of breaking it up like so. Now, at this point, I'm going to take, I got these miniature hay bales at Walmart. I'm gonna just kind of open the top here. They smell like hay. Take one. Put it in the cage. In fact, I might even add 2. And there you go. And yeah. Okay. And now, since you want to provide your hamster some enrichment, enrichment, you're gonna want to take some of your seed mix. Here's mine, and do a little thin layer of seeds or your seed mix. Just kind of take it, do this, just kind of scatter it around the cage. Not too much, of course, but not too little. And also gonna take some mealworms and dried mealworms and dried crickets and sprinkle a few of those. Not too many because they can be fatty, but also not gonna add none. Because your hamsters are omnivores and it's better. It's not horrible if you don't add dried crickets and stuff. It's just better if you do. And I am going to grab a little treat. I have cookies that you can get from any pet store. You can also make hamster treats yourself, which is what I am going to try to do. So I'm just going to add 2 of these in my cage. One here, one here. And let's add more bedding. The whole point of these is so that your hamster has to smell them and find them, the hay bales. In fact, I might, while we're at it, add a hide at the bottom here so that my hamster will, when she's burrowing, she can be like, oh, there's a hide there. I'm going to go in it. And I'm going to just add the rest of the bedding. I might even have to go to the store and get more. I do not know, because I might need more. And that's all my bed. So I'm just gonna break this up, fluff it up around, and get it all situated as you guys can see me doing. I would go ahead and put my hamster in, but obviously we don't have the wheel yet, so I'm going to put her in tomorrow, but I'm also going to put her in for a few minutes today so you guys can see my hamster, because you guys haven't ever seen my hamster. So just so that you guys can see her, and her name, if you did not know, which you probably didn't, is Teddy. And it is a girl. Yeah, she is a girl. So yeah. The reason I named her Teddy is because she is a teddy bear Syrian hamster. See? I'm just gonna add a few more hides, and then tomorrow I will go to the pet store and get more bedding, because she's not gonna stay in there forever today. And I'm going to add a little hide that I made simply from just cardboard and a paper towel, toilet paper roll. Just kind of snug this into the bedding. Might even put this in the corner over here. There we go. And her last hide that I have today, this one, she can enter through here. I made it big enough so that she can have her cheek pouches full and go in. I'm gonna put this one just over here in the corner. She can burrow in once I add more bedding, obviously, because she can't burrow in like 3 inches of bedding. Good thing I'm not putting her in tonight. And a little more food sprinkled so that I might even put a little in her hides. And that's it. And I'm gonna go get my hamster, put her in, and you guys will get to meet her. She's in here. Teddy bear, Teddy, that's not where you're supposed to burrow. You can't right now anyways. Hi, baby. What are you doing? So this is Teddy. Teddy. Hi. But this is her. We haven't even been to the other side of the cage. Here she is over here. She found her way. Like I said, I'm not keeping her in here with not close to enough bedding and no wheel. Never, ever put your hands there in a place without a wheel. She's in that little hide. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I think we ended it in a pretty good note here. I can see she has already found some food and put it in her cheeks. You can see it right here. She probably thinks I'm food because I just, fed her food. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. So, yeah. I will see you guys next time. Bye.